it's your boy here, Just Small, back again with yet another reaction. And today we are going to be getting into the 10 greatest moments in sports history. I'm looking forward to getting to this. I am a big sports fan, so big shout again to my brother Brennan, who gave me the shout out and wanted me to react to this video. But just before we do anything else, have you all clicked the subscribe button yet? I don't think you have. If you haven't, why don't you get on over there and give it a big old click, and also click that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Come on now, join the family. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, folks, so come on over, join the family, and yeah, whilst you're over there, make sure you crush the like button and get down in the comments section and tell me what you enjoyed of today's video and also where I can improve. Let's get straight into this with 10 greatest moments in sports history. Let's get it.
Sports have the power to inspire us, bore us, or demoralize us, depending on the game. We've all experienced the last-minute score that gets an entire stadium on its feet, or a phenomenal save that keeps your team in the game. But sometimes these emotional moments transcend the sport itself and earn their place in the fabric of
there
pop
are
culture.
so
Today,
many.
we're counting down the top 10 greatest moments in sports history. Tracy McGrady entered the NBA straight out of high school and was selected as the 9th overall pick by the Toronto Raptors in the 1997 NBA Draft. Beginning his career as a low-minute player, he gradually improved his role with the team. In 2000, he left the Raptors for the Orlando Magic, where he became one of the league's most prolific scorers and a candidate for the NBA MVP award. The latter years of his career were plagued by injuries, and he was forced to retire early. But for one night in 2004, McGrady was the talk of the league. McGrady's team, the Houston Rockets, were down by 8 points to the San Antonio Spurs with 30 seconds left on the clock. Tracy McGrady was racing down the court with the ball, his eyes focused squarely on the basket and the fate of the game in his hands. There was no way he was going to settle for a tie. McGrady was thinking about making a game-winning three-pointer the whole time. "I wanted to take my chances," McGrady said. "At that point, I felt anything I threw up was going to go in. The rim felt really, really big, so McGrady let fly with a running three-point shot with 1.7 seconds left, capping a one-man rally in the final minute to send the Houston Rockets to an improbable 81-80 win over San Antonio on Thursday night. McGrady scored 13 points in the final 35 seconds, including 4 difficult threes, to finish with 33 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 steals in a terrific clutch performance.
What
"It was unbelievable," said Spurs coach Greg Popovich. The sleepy-eyed 25-year-old All-Star put on a virtuoso finish that rivaled any of the top last-second efforts in the league record books. The improbable win cemented McGrady as a key clutch player and earned him the number 10 spot on our countdown of the greatest moments in sports history.
Nice. Good effort.
Though his personal life has been plagued with controversy, Tiger Woods is both one of the most talented and highest-paid golfers of all time. He first reached the #1 position in the world rankings in June 1997, less than a year after turning pro. Throughout the 2000s, Woods was the dominant force in golf. He won the 2000 US Open by a record 15-shot margin. He was the top-ranked golfer in the world from August 1999 to September 2004, and again
when you think about it, that's a long time.
2010. Maybe the most iconic moment of Tiger Woods' storied career came during the 2005 Masters, when he chipped in on the 16th hole of the final round. Woods was holding a one-stroke lead at the time, and eventually won his 4th Masters in a playoff. According to Woods' former caddy, Woods was aiming for a mark the size of a dime and hit it on the fly. At the time, Woods had a one-stroke lead over his playing partner Chris DeMarco, whom Tiger would eventually beat in the playoff. DeMarco had 15 feet for birdie, while Woods had his tee shot on the par 3 into the rough. CBS commentator Lanny Watkins called it one of the toughest pitches on the entire course, and speculated that because of the thicker rough sitting just behind Tiger's ball, he'd have a hard time getting the ball within 15 feet of the hole. There was also the threat of having the ball roll off the green and into the bunker. Woods got the ball up in the air. It landed on the hill, slowly rolled down to the hole, where it rested on the edge for a moment and then fell in for a birdie, causing spectators and commentators alike to lose control.
He was good, was Tiger
LeBron
Woods.
James is without question one of the greatest basketball players in history.
Yeah.
James' NBA accomplishments are extensive and include 4 NBA Most Valuable Player awards, 3 NBA Finals MVP awards, 2 Olympic gold medals, 3 All-Star
That
Game
wasn't
MVP
him.
awards, and an NBA
That was
scoring
Kevin
title.
Durant.
He is the all-time NBA playoff scoring
Was
leader
it?
and has amassed 14
That
NBA
looked
All-Star
like
Game
Kevin
appearances.
Durant for a
But
second.
James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, whom he spent most of his
Must have
professional
been
career
him.
with,
I
were
must
not
be
always
seeing things.
champions. In fact, Cleveland
Oh,
had
it's
not
'cause he
won a
had a cap
championship
on
in
it.
any sport until
Bottom half
2016,
looked
when
more
James
like like
the
Kevin
team to an
Durant.
unthinkable victory against the Golden State Warriors after coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the series. The Cavaliers became the first team in NBA history to come back from a 3-1 series deficit to win the NBA Finals. They became the first NBA champion to clinch all their playoff series on the road since the 1999 San Antonio Spurs, as well as the first road team to win a Finals Game 7 since the 1978 Washington Bullets.
Yeah, the Cavs team
won
back
their
then
first
were
championship in franchise
good.
history, ending a nearly 52-year pro sports championship drought for the city of Cleveland. LeBron James was named the unanimous Finals MVP, becoming only the 5th player in NBA history to earn the award 3 times or more. He was also the overall leader in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks during the series, a feat that had never been accomplished in an NBA playoff series. Tyronn Lue became the 14th coach to win an NBA championship.
He
as the head
is
coach
different
to play.
gravy
After
as
13
LeBron.
years, James had finally brought a championship to the city of Cleveland. That earned him the number 8 spot on our countdown. In baseball, the shot heard round the
See,
world.
now this
was
is
a
one
game-winning
spot
home
I've
run
been
by New
told
York
by
Giants
my
outfielder and third baseman
cousin
Bobby
over in the
Thompson off
US
Brooklyn
that
Dodgers
it's
pitcher Ralph
a little bit
Broca at the
boring to
Polo Grounds in
watch,
New York City
but
on
quite
October
enjoyable
3rd,
to play.
1951, to win the National League pennant. Thompson's dramatic
It's one of them
home run came in
spots.
the 9th inning of the decisive third
It's a
game
bit
of a 3-game
to
playoff
watch,
for the pennant, in which the
but
Giants trailed
decent to
4-2.
play.
The game, the first ever televised nationally, was seen by millions of viewers across America and heard on radio by millions more, including thousands of American servicemen stationed in Korea, listening on Armed Forces Radio. The classic victory was intensified by the epic crosstown rivalry between the Giants and Dodgers, and by a remarkable string of victories in the last weeks of the regular season by the Giants, who won 37 of their last 44 games to catch the first-place Dodgers and force a playoff series to decide the NL champion. The Giants' late-season rally and 2-1 game playoff victory, capped by Thompson's moment of triumph, are collectively known in baseball lore as the Miracle of Coogan's Bluff, a descriptor coined by the legendary sports columnist Red Smith. The run came in the final moments of the fame and secured not only the Dodgers' victory but also their infamy in sports history.
Wow.
Argentina's World Cup quarterfinal against England and Mexico in 1986.
Here we
became
go.
One of the most famous
Hand of
games
God.
in football history, thanks to one man, Maradona. He is arguably one of the most
Rest in
talented
peace.
players ever to grace the game, but one match
He
in
was
particular
phenomenal,
guaranteed his
was
seat in the
Maradona,
football
but
pantheon. There have been few
was a
games in
cheating
World Cup
scumbag.
and indeed football history that have left more lasting impact on
That's
the
still
sport
to
than
this day
Argentina's victory over England in the
hurts.
1986 quarterfinals in Mexico City. The match was
That
taken
was
over
the-
by the
that
greatest
was the
player in
time that
tournament
we
at the
could have
time,
won it.
Argentina's captain Diego Maradona.
Really, really
But while
was.
Maradona's second goal of the game encapsulated his brilliance perhaps better than any other he scored in his career, his first was an equally perfect example of his ability to create controversy and divide opinion. We're talking, of course, about the hand of God, as Maradona dubbed the opening goal himself, after punching an aerial ball past England goalkeeper Peter Shilton. It was and still is the most astonishing moment in the rivalry between England and Argentina that continues to this day. Maradona was 25 years old and entering the prime of his career when the 1986 World Cup came around. He had broken the world transfer record for the second time by joining Napoli from Barcelona for £6.9 million in 1984. The infamous point came when Maradona skipped past Glenn Hoddle and then squeezed in between 2 more England players before sliding a pass out to Valdano and making his way into the box. The ball skipped up on Valdano's foot and Hodge wildly hooked it into his own penalty area, where Maradona rose and punched the ball past the onrushing Shilton. The handball could easily have earned Maradona a red card.
It should have been a red
Argentina
card.
the game. The rest is history. The date was June 14th of 1998. The setting was Game 6 of the NBA
I've got a
Finals
feeling
in
who
Utah.
this is.
The shot was a 17-footer with
Michael
5.2
Jordan.
seconds left to give the Bulls an
Funny story, I
87
was
to
actually
86
named
lead.
after
The
him.
moment was the storybook ending so many
well,
Chicago Bulls
that's a
fans
story for
wanted for
another
the
time.
greatest of all time. A game-winning shot that gave MJ 45 points and the Bulls a second three-peat and their 6th NBA championship in the 90s. The play went as follows. With the Jazz leading 86-85 with 18.9 seconds to play, Michael Jordan steals the ball from Karl Malone in the post. Jordan then dribbles down court and uses a crossover dribble and a slight shove of Byron Russell to nail a 20-foot jumper for an 87-86 lead with 5.2 seconds left to play. That jumper ended up being the game winner as the Bulls clinched their 3rd straight title in what at the time was Jordan's final shot. He would later come out of retirement and play for the Washington Wizards from 2001 to 2003. One of the iconic sequences and shots in the illustrious career of Jordan. Not even his stint with the Wizards has overshadowed those final seconds against the Jazz. More than just a shot that ended a dynasty in Chicago, it signaled the end of an era for one of the greatest players in the NBA.
Yeah, if not probably the
It was a
greatest.
nondescript friendly match, trundling along without excitement or incident in front of a miserable Wembley crowd of just over 20,000. England was trying to work forward from the crushing disappointment of not making the 1994 World Cup and were failing to break down their resolute Colombian opponents. Then out of nowhere came an amazing moment of breathtaking audacity destined to be imitated in school playgrounds, at parks, and replayed on YouTube for years to come. Jamie Redknapp attempted to launch a cross into the Colombian box, but the trajectory was askew, and instead it sailed toward the fuzzy-haired and eccentric figure of the Higuita in the Colombian net, and it was the simplest thing in the world for Higuita to reach out and catch the ball and restart the game. That, however, was not his style. Instead, Higuita dived forward, and with his back arched like a scorpion's tail pre-sting, flicked up both of his heels with perfect timing to clear the ball. Wembley gasped, and millions watching on had a new hero. 2 decades on, and Higuita is still a household name, forever known as the man who invented soccer's scorpion kick. The game fizzled out to a wholly predictable 0-0 draw, yet it would remain in posterity for Higuita's antics.
Yeah.
On
remember
October
that.
30th, 1974, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, two of the most powerful boxers in the history of the
Oh,
sport, squared
Muhammad
up for the
Ali
Rumble in the
against
Jungle bout in the city of
Foreman.
Kinshasa,
This
in the
was
country now called the
unreal.
Democratic Republic of Congo. At
This-
the time, Foreman was considered one of the hardest punchers in the sport, having already knocked out Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, both of whom
Yeah.
had given Ali 4 tough battles.
Muhammad Ali was
Ali was
just
at the time 32 years
different.
old and
He
had
was
been banned
different.
from the sport for 3 years during his prime and stripped of his boxing title due to his refusal to be drafted to Vietnam. His years out of the game had meant he had lost the speed and reflexes he had shown in his 20s, and few involved in the sport gave the former champion a chance of winning contest. Ali during the fight devised a method which would later become known as the rope-a-dope, where he retreated
Yeah.
to the ropes and let Foreman strike at will while covering up, deflecting, and counterpunching. Midway through the fight, a frustrated
Muhammad
Foreman
was
won
just
himself out in the Kinshasa
phenomenal
Foreman
at it. His
punches that didn't land
defensive
squarely
game
or
was
were blocked by Ali. Ali countered
untouchable.
more frequently, and in the 8th round used a combination of right crosses to floor. and
That's how you
exhausted
can
Foreman
kind of
to
look at
regain the title by
Mayweather,
knockout.
because he was
You thought he could do
undefeated.
this, but Muhammad Ali was special, says the
Yeah.
Telegraph's boxing correspondent Gareth Davies. This was one of those moments that demonstrated why Muhammad Ali was a game changer, and of course he went on to become a great legend. It was legendary enough to secure the number 3 spot on our countdown.
Without a doubt.
The catch refers to the winning touchdown reception in the 1981 Super Bowl, played between the Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco.
You see, I don't know
49ers
anything about
in
the
San
NFL
Francisco on
really. I
January
don't
10th,
watch
1982.
NFL.
With 58 seconds left in the game,
I
and
watch-
the 49ers
I
facing
watch
3rd and 3, San
big
Francisco
hits
wide
videos,
receiver
'cause it's
Dwight Clark
funny
made a leaping grab
when
in the
they
back
say
of the end
big
zone to
hits,
complete a
what
6-yard
rubbish.
touchdown pass from quarterback Joe Montana,
Those guys-
enabling the 49ers to
those
defeat the
guys
Cowboys
have no
28
chill.
to 27. The catch is
You wanna
widely
see
regarded
big
as one of
hits?
the most memorable events
Or
in
watch
NFL
rugby?
history.
Oh.
It came at the end of a 14-play, 83-yard
Some of the
drive
hits that they
engineered
do
by
in the
Montana.
NFL, I've
The
got
game represented
nothing
the
on
end
what
of
they
the
do in
Cowboys'
rugby.
domination in the NFC since the
Jesus.
conference's inception in 1970, and the
See,
beginning
you
of
can
the
really
49ers'
pick 'em
rise
up
as an
and
NFL dynasty
trust
in the
me,
1980s.
they've
The
got
game was a
padding and
watershed
everything in the
four
helmet.
quarters before the
Rugby, they've
49ers
got
and the
nothing
Cowboys.
apart from a
The
gum
49ers
shield.
began the
They're going
1970s winning 3
head
consecutive
first.
NFC West titles, but spent the remainder of the decade as a losing team. San Francisco went on to win 4 Super Bowls in the 1980s
Okay.
and made the playoffs 8 out of the next 10 seasons, making the 49ers a dynasty. 49ers quarterback Joe Montana went on to gain a reputation as a clutch performer. The catch remains one of the most iconic moments in sports history, making it number 2 on our countdown.
Alright, number
On March
1.
2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain set the NBA single
Wilt
game scoring
Chamberlain,
record
I
by
remember-
tallying
no, I
100 points
remember
for the Philadelphia
looking
Warriors
at- I
in a
remember reading about
169-147 victory over the New York Knicks. Not 98
Didn't
points,
he score
not
100
102,
points?
but a nice round 100 were scored exclusively by Chamberlain,
Yeah.
an imposing record set by the league's most imposing player. Chamberlain was a massive force in the NBA, a player of sizable stature who seemed to overshadow all around him. He was a dominant offensive force, unstoppable on his way to the basket. Yet he was also a fine all-around athlete who took pride in developing the all-around skills to compete with players a half foot shorter. Amazingly, Chamberlain also averaged 48.5 minutes per game. Quite a feat when you consider that an NBA game lasts only 48 minutes. The Warriors played
Yeah.
a total of 10 overtime periods in 7 games that season, and
Jeez.
Chamberlain was on the court for 3,882 out of a possible 3,890 minutes. Of the team's
Jesus.
80 games, he went the distance in a record 79 of them. Of the many points he scored, the 100-point game still stands as the high point of Chamberlain's career.
Alright. Right, well, that was the 10 greatest moments in sports history. That was actually really interesting to see, you know, just some of them, absolute ridiculousness. It really, really was. Some of them are just still to this day embedded in your brain, especially for me. It's Maradona with the hand of God. As of course I'm a Brit, you know, it still hurts to this day, because that year at the World Cup we had a phenomenal team, and we should have won it there. We should have won it in 1994, but we never got through. You know, we should have won it so many times, but I just don't think we had a good enough manager. I still don't think we've got a ridiculously good manager in Gareth Southgate. I think he's done well with what he has, but all the other teams across the world in international football, they're not the same as what they were about 5 to 10 years ago with the players that they did have. I mean, you look at Germany, they had the likes of Ballack, you know. Michael Ballack was different. You know, you go Ivory Coast? They had Didier Drogba. You know, those players were just different. They were different in every single way. And of course, like I watch NBA every so often, if I can be bothered watching it, but I am mainly football / soccer. I don't mind watching a little bit of basketball here and there. Don't mind watching a bit of tennis every so often as well. I've got to be in the mood for tennis though. But that's about it. That's all the sport that I really watch. But that is where we're going to leave it for today, folks. Thank you all ever so much for stopping on by. That has been your boy, Jordan Mon. You also known as Just Small. If you are somehow new here, do not hesitate to go on over and click subscribe. You know, click that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Come on over and join the family. And then also, go and crush the like button and get down in the comments section and tell me what you enjoyed about today's video, and also where I can improve for this year. Thank you all ever so much. Also, some of you have been asking that, you know, once we do hit 1,000 subscribers, there is something planned. Well, we're talking about it, and as soon as we do hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing a drunk Q&A with the leftovers, and you know, it's kind of us cheating in a way and getting 2 videos out of 1 session. It's going to be on Discord, and you guys and girls, I will be putting a link onto the latest video that is up on the channel for the Discord server. It's also going to be on my Facebook, and it's also going to be on my Twitter, so you all can join us and send in your questions. Make sure you got a mic and everything. If you have a camera as well and you want your face on as well, you're more than welcome to do so. But that is where we're going to leave it, folks. Thank you all ever so much for watching. I will see you all next time. This has been your boy, Just Small. See you now, take care, and peace.